What's in a name? A rose by any other name doesn't smell different. But in a story, a water lily by another name makes a whole lot of difference. So, where does our story begin? Let's start from here. This is River Gambhir, a tributary of the holy river Shipra in central India. It is a seasonal river and starts drying up few months after the monsoon rains are over. But at this point, the water piles up and becomes massive because a dam is built on it. The dam is called Yashwant Sagar. It was built in 1939. What does a dam do? It stops the flow of the river to create a huge reservoir. This helps in water supply and generating electricity. Yashwant Sagar is built for supplying water to Indore. This reservoir is now home to many exotic birds, especially the Saras crane. What else does a dam do? It is also a place of recreation. But our dam here has given birth to one more place of recreation a few hundred meters upstream. This is called Asia's largest Lotus Valley. And I find this name criminally thoughtless. Not to mention the adverse environmental impact it is making on the ecosystem. We will look into both the aspects. But first, let's see how the place came into being. So how does a dam create a secondary recreation place away from it? Well, as you can see that the dam breaks the river flow and slows it down. This affects its speed miles upstream. Let's move along this almost stagnant water upstream towards Asia's largest Lotus Valley. That bridge over there, that is the place. Its aerial distance from Yashwant Sagar is hardly a few hundred meters, but by road it is about 9 kilometers. The stagnant water of Gambhir river has turned into a vast lake. There is a small village near this lake and it is called Gulawat, which loosely translates in Hindi as blooming of flowers. And I must say that the name is truly justified because the lake looks like this in winters. Now, coming back to its origin, somewhere around 2015, the farmers realized that the stagnant water offers ideal conditions for aquatic plants like lotus, which has great commercial value. So they decided to cultivate its seeds, but it didn't succeed. So they went to Gujarat and brought the seeds of water lily from one of the famous agri-tech firms. This time, it worked.
ये हम गुजरात से लेकर आए थे।
कितना साल हुआ इसको?
ये 5 या 6 साल हो चुके हैं। हम पहले इस तालाब में सब्जी लगाते थे, जिसके बाद नया साइपन बना तो ये ज़मीन खाली नहीं होती है। इसके लिए हमने ये कमल का बीज लगाया है, जिसके बाद में इसको लोटसरी माने गई है। ये शाम के टाइम खुलता है ठंडक में, 2 महीने में बाहर आता है। 2 महीने हम तोड़ना चालू कर देते इसके फसल।
They started reaping rich harvest of lily year after year. The flower has great demand in nearby Indore, and the goddess of prosperity was smiling on them as they also got a license for fishing. And this water body has abundant fish. The party just didn't stop here. The blooming flowers attracted nature lovers, and soon these backwaters of Yashwant Sagar became a massive tourist attraction. Soon, people discovered that this is a good recreation spot and a weekend getaway. Vloggers started making vlogs, and this place came to be known as
It is Asia's biggest Lotus Valley.
और ये एशिया की सबसे बड़ी लोटस की झील है यहाँ पे।
Asia's biggest naming blunder. And so, on a weekend, I decided to check out the place with my mom and kids. As we started from the town, it was a broad and smooth road. But as we approached the village, the road became more bumpy and dusty. But the moment I saw the lake, I was convinced it was worth it. It is super crowded on the weekend. We start crossing the bridge. At the other end of this bridge, there is a forest of bamboos and eucalyptus. Of course, it is not a natural forest. They've been planted. And we'll come to this point in a while. There's something important I want to share. It looks dense and serene from the top. And it is really hard to imagine that beneath this tranquility, there is a noisy and crowded world waiting for us. So let's join the fun. There is a blooming economy out there. You'll have to see it to believe it. There are vendors of all kinds and people with weird and colorful selfie props. Yes, the place caters to the needs of selfie lovers. No wonder it has become a photo shoot hotspot.
I think this must have been used by couples for photo shoot. So there's a I love you pillow.
Boating for visitors has been banned here for security reasons. Only the farmers can boat for flower plucking. The atmosphere is electric and the breathtaking lake is a real visual treat. And no wonder everyone is partying hard. So why am I sticking out as a sore thumb? The answer is rather long but worth discussing. You see, the tag of Asia's largest Lotus Valley has 3 claims, and I have a problem with all 3. Let's take one at a time. Claim number 1. Well, I am sure you know by now that these are lilies, not lotus. And I think the name is not interchangeable. If this sounds like a rant on a petty issue, consider this. Lotus is the national flower of India, while lily is the national flower of the neighboring country Bangladesh, which is not our best friend. So basically, we have grown a lake full of national flower of Bangladesh and are celebrating it as the national flower of India. Can a population be more undiscerning and lousy? Lotus and lily are not only visually different, but they don't even belong to the same genus of plants, even if both are aquatic in nature. This is lotus and can be clearly distinguished with its broad, round, thin and papery petals and that conspicuous receptacle in the center which is locally known as Kamalgatta. Lily petals are narrower, pointed and leathery and there is no receptacle. They are darker in color than the usually baby pink lotus. If this little naming mistake is not atrocious enough till now, get this. Lotus is a sacred flower in a deeply religious country like ours. It is also the symbol of the current ruling party and can be seen all around every day. So if people cannot tell a lotus from a lily, this is a national embarrassment. Coming to claim number 2. This is Asia's largest. Alright, I would love to have such a thing near my town, but how do we validate this claim? How big is this in acres or square kilometers? And if this is Asia's largest, which one is Asia's second largest? And which is the world's largest Lotus Valley? Where are the comparative figures, man? So everyone knows that Mount Everest is the tallest peak in the world because we have the exact measurement of top 10 peaks in the world. But when I randomly found this huge lotus lake in China, I cannot say with certainty that our lake in Gulawat is bigger than this because there isn't any measure for either. I think someone just walked in and decided to create a sensational tag for this place. And it caught up because tier 2 towns have this obsession for proclaiming their things as the largest, the first, the most advanced or the cleanest, etc. etc. Claim number 3. I will keep this one very short. Think about the word valley in Lotus Valley. We learned the definition of a valley in high school geography. Now seeing this landscape, you can decide if this is technically a valley.
But is that all about this place? Turns out this is a fantastic place worth going at least once if you stay in Indore. And even if you live far away, it's worth coming all the way. This has a forest, this has a wet ecosystem, this has water birds, this has fishes, and then this has wonderful lilies.
And guess who is making the most use of these resources? Yes, the soon-to-be wed couples. You know how pre-wedding shoots are arranged these days. This place is the hottest destination for pre-wedding shoots. The lake as well as the forested surroundings make picturesque locations. But being the devil's advocate I am, I must point out what is wrong with this wonderfully forested track. You see, these are bamboos and eucalyptus trees. Back in the 1960s and 70s, the Indian government ran schemes to cover land areas with bamboos and eucalyptus. Now the fast-growing bamboo plant does have many advantages, It has multiple uses like in paper and pulp industry, house construction and art. It generates employment through handicraft cottage industry, not to mention the green cover it creates. Now eucalyptus is also used in pulp industry, but it is not an environment friendly tree. It is a water sucker and destroys the native ecosystem. To avail the central funds, state governments replace the native species of peepal, bargad, neem, etc. with bamboo and eucalyptus. This is what some prominent environmentalists have to say about this tree. And with this, I wrap it up, folks.
So have you been to any such place which you think could have been named better? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, show your love by pressing the like button. And if you want to get notifications for my future similar videos, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon. And thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.